Hello everyone, welcome once again to Milky Way Astrology. In this video, I want to show you how to predict second marriage in a chart. So I'm using the chart of my client. So for this person, first marriage happened several years ago and right now he is single and he came to me for second marriage prediction. For second marriage, you have to look at the 7th house of marriage and 9th house of second partner. That's the main thing. For first marriage, you always look at the 7th house because 7th house shows the institution of marriage and your partner in general. But when it comes to second partner, you have to look at both the 7th house and the 9th house. Why? Because it shows the institution of marriage and it shows the second partner's quality, how you are going to meet the partner and how the marriage, the life after marriage is going to be. All these sort of things will be looked at using both the 9th house and the 7th house. Not just that, there is another secret to it. The 7th house also shows general partner's quality. That means be it your second partner, third partner, fourth partner, they will always have some similar qualities. I have heard this from people who got married twice, thrice. Like you meet people, you get attracted to people, whoever is allowed by your 7th house. And when it comes to second partner, the mix of 7th and 9th. If you want to look at the third partner, then the mix of 7th and 11th. This is how it works. So anyway, let's look at the prediction. This is the male's chart, so we look at Venus, and Venus is in Uttara Ashada in the 8th house. So Venus in the 8th house, what does it say? Changes, transformation in partnership. So likewise, we see that first partnership broke up. Okay, first marriage broke up. And secondly, we see that the 7th house itself is Scorpio, the natural 8th sign. So it again shows some break and transformation. This is not always the case. Whenever you have Scorpio, don't get worried that, oh, this means maybe I will also have a breakup in my marital partnership. No, it's not the case. Here, I see several things. That's what I'm trying to show you. Here, that first, Venus in 8th house. Then that's one indication. And secondly, Venus in Uttara Ashada. It is the only single nakshatra. So naturally, no matter like whether you have Venus, whether you have 7th Lord in Uttara Ashada, they will always have that whenever it comes to relationship, they will, even after marriage, they will feel that that isolation kind of theme. First 8th house, then Uttara Ashada. Then it is with Saturn, that is third probability. Then Moon is in Scorpio, 7th house itself is Scorpio. That is another thing. Then Moon is the Dharakaraka. It is also in Scorpio. That is 5th thing. Then Moon is in Vishakha. Vishakha's theme itself is split. Parting ways. Split means what? One path becomes two. If a couple is going in one path, Vishakha comes, they split. They have to choose which path to go. And if there is no proper understanding between each other, then both of them will choose either of the paths and walk in their own way like that. So that kind of theme we see. So already I gave you 6 probabilities, and then we see 7th Lord in the 6th house again in Vishakha. So 6th house and Vishakha 2 again. So totally I have given you 7 different probabilities that shows that this person meant to be going through breakup in his first relationship and first marriage. And I have already confirmed asking this person, and he already told me that he had gone through breakup in a relationship. After that he got married and like now got divorced in that also. Then now let's look at the positive things. Positive, if you come to that, like you can see that the 6th Lord Venus in the 8th house creating Viparit Raj Yoga. Then Venus is with Saturn. Saturn is planet of commitment, long-term commitment. So yes, with some ups and downs in life, this person can go through partnership stability. Okay, that kind of ups and downs already happened. So yes, there is a possibility that this person can have stable relationship in the future. And then this eighth house is directly aspected by Jupiter from the second house. So that also brings some stability. Jupiter is also retrograde, so it did not save the first time. But yes, retrogression usually will bring problems in the first two times. That already happened. Usually I have seen the third time they bring some results. Sometimes it can happen if they are a strong retrograde, then fourth time it can bring result. But usually I have seen third time it bring results. So what we see is that all these things are showing that the second partnership can bring stability in his life. That we have sorted, and we are looking at Mercury and Jupiter dasha, and he is in his 35th year. Yeah, 35th year right now. 34 years or over, 35th year. So 35th year is activating the 11th house. Okay, so this is Padam Chakra method. Padam Chakra means you calculate every single house based on the year. So based on that calculation, 35th year you land on the 11th house. So right now, from last year November, this person activated his 11th house through his 35th year starting. So yes, this year can bring some huge gains in his life, and that can be marriage also. I'm not saying it will be, but it can be. And that's what we are going to look at, whether it will be. And in the Navamsha, we see that Mercury is also very strong because it is in the 10th house. Here it is in the 7th house. So Mercury is definitely showing marriage. And Jupiter, here Jupiter in the second house, it's a good placement for Jupiter. So Mercury Jupiter dasha is not denying that. And also above that, we also see that Mercury Jupiter dasha can bring marriage, some 7th house related themes. Why? Because Mercury and Jupiter, they are always opposite to each other. Mercury is the student, Jupiter is the teacher. And Gemini is directly opposite to Sagittarius, ruled by Jupiter. Virgo is directly opposite to Pisces, ruled by Jupiter. And then here in the Yogini, again Jupiter Mercury dasha, 7th house related themes. Then Scorpio Gemini. Scorpio is the 7th house. Then the Gemini is aspecting Virgo, the 5th house. Then 8th house, where we have Venus and Saturn. And then the 11th house of gains. Why it did not work out? Because it is not aspecting the 9th house. It is aspecting the 9th lord. But see, this is Chara. Chara is giving importance to the houses and zodiacs. So Taurus, if you look at it, Taurus, yes, it is aspecting the 9th house. It's aspecting Cancer, then Libra and the 9th house. Okay, Capricorn. And in Libra, we have Mars, the 7th lord. That is bringing another confirmation, strength, and the 9th house itself. So yes, things can work out in Scorpio Taurus dasha. So this chart, the planetary positions, dasha positions, all of them are showing that marriage is possible, but it is not confirming. So now we have to go to the transit. So in that case, leave the Scorpio Gemini. Let's go to the Scorpio Taurus. Yeah, March 28th. So yes, when we are close to that time, we see that Saturn Mars is the 7th lord and Saturn is the 9th lord. They both are in the 10th house aspecting the 7th house. Mars is not aspecting, but Saturn is aspecting. And then Jupiter is also not aspecting the 7th house, neither the 9th house, but it is aspecting Venus and Saturn, the 9th lord and 7th karaka. So both of them are getting aspected by Jupiter, transiting Jupiter through its 9th aspect. So 9th aspect, remember 9th house is important, right? Along with 7th. And Jupiter is also aspecting through its 7th aspect. Mars, it is aspecting through its 7th aspect. And then both Mercury and Jupiter are in the 12th house. 12th house is what? Upapada Lagna, I told you. Venus is exalted, you see here. So in the moon chart, we see that second lord Jupiter, 11th lord Mercury and 7th lord Venus. So Jupiter and Mercury, they both are in the 6th house. Okay, that's not very strong here. And they are also not aspecting the they are aspecting the 7th lord, that is Venus, through its 9th aspect. Yes, Ninth lord is moon, and moon is in the Lagna. Saturn and Mars, they both are not aspecting the 7th house, but they are aspecting the Lagna. That does not say anything. And through their 7th aspect, they both are aspecting the 10th house from the moon. That also does not say anything very clearly. So I think I have to move on from this. Yeah, okay. So in that case, I have to look for, I'm mainly looking for this Jupiter moving to the 1st house. Because when Jupiter moves to the 1st house, it will directly aspect the 7th house, along with Saturn aspecting the 7th house. That brings even stronger results. So Jupiter, yeah, by this time Jupiter exactly moves on, okay, 1st May itself Jupiter moves to the Taurus, and it is aspecting the 7th house. Saturn is also aspecting the 7th house, okay, and Jupiter is also aspecting the 9th house, and 9th lord is in Mool Trikona position aspecting the 7th house. So you see the connection here, like Jupiter and Saturn, they both are aspecting 7th house, 9th house, and 9th lord in Trikona, Mool Trikona. So it's a strong indication. Then also we are in the Scorpio Taurus timing, and in Yogini Dasha, in the same time we will be in Jupiter Saturn or 7-7 axis in the birth chart. So that itself, and in the 7th axis we also see Venus is there. So that's a good indication. Anytime you see like 7-7 relationship between the Mahadasha Lord and Antradasha Lord, that can also bring 7th house related themes. Okay, so let me go back to the transit here. Again, we see that the 7th lord Mars in the 11th house, that's a good indication. Then Venus is in the 12th house in Upapada Lagna. That's not very strong timing. So let Venus go to the 1st house. So it will also aspect 7th house along with Jupiter. Venus going to the 1st house. Yes, Jupiter, Venus and Sun. 4th lord aspecting 7th house. 1st lord aspecting the 7th house. 1st lord is also Venus. And then Jupiter aspecting the 7th house. And then Saturn is aspecting the 7th house. So this seems a strong timing. While the 7th lord in the 11th house. 11th lord is also Jupiter, which is also aspecting this. Then Mercury, the 2nd lord and the 5th lord, but 2nd lord is important, and 2nd lord in the 12th house. But this 12th house is Upapada Lagna also. So again, and then 12th lord Mars is also in the 11th house. So in a way, this 12th house placement of Mercury is also denoting marriage. So I would say May month is very strong for marriage for this person. Okay, that's the theme. And like if you look at a little bit before is not very strong, but little bit after, actually little bit after is even stronger. Yeah, like when you go to 2nd May, okay, wait, first I have noted this date, add to pick list, and then 2nd June. When you reach 2nd June, all of them, like 2nd lord, 11th lord, and then 7th lord, all of them are in strong positions and aspecting the 7th house. You see that Mars is aspecting 7th house through its 8th aspect, and then it is also aspecting the 7th lord. And then Jupiter, Mercury, Venus, Sun, all of them are what? 1st lord, 2nd lord, 4th lord, and then 11th lord, and Venus being the Dharakarka also. I mean, not Dharakarka, but 7th Karka. All of them are aspecting the 7th house. Jupiter is aspecting the 9th house. 9th lord is in the Mool Trikona position, again aspecting the 7th house. Mars in 12th house, but it's in own sign, and it's the Upapada Lagna. So this is very strong. So I am picking this also. So these two dates are very strong. Then I still going to push a little bit to, let me show you that. this. When moon being the Dharakaraka, I showed you here. Moon is the Dharakaraka here. So when moon also comes to the first house, it is also joining this clan and two aspect here. Okay, so the entire 3 planets in the 7th house basically shift to the first house along with the Jupiter and Venus to aspect the 7th house. Mars is also aspecting the 7th house. Saturn is also aspecting the 7th house. Rahu is also aspecting the 7th house. So what do you see? Themes related to 7th house is very strong, right? At the same time, this is 11th house year. So that is also another strong theme. And at the same time, Dasha is also confirming. Here also Dasha is confirming. And here if you go to Yogini, that is also confirming. And even if you look at this Yogini Dasha, planets like Jupiter and Saturn in the Navamsha, what do you see here? I told you Saturn is the ruler of the 11th house. So it is strong. Saturn does well in the 6th house. Okay. It's an amazing placement usually. Saturn does well in 3rd house, 6th house, 8th house and 12th house. All the Dushtana houses. So Saturn does well here. Jupiter in Saturn ruled sign in the 11th house. So and in the Navamsha. So definitely Jupiter can also bring marriage related possibilities. And not just that, also in Vimshotri, Mercury is also in the 10th house. So 9th house, 10th house, 11th house in Navamsha becomes very strong placement for marriage. Okay, including the 7th house. So we see that Venus, the marriage Karaka in the 9th house, Dasha Lord Mercury in the 10th house, then Sabdasha Lord Jupiter in the 11th house. And the ruler of 10th and 11th house Saturn in a very strong position in Parivartana with Mercury. All of them are saying that this is the timings. And let me pick this also. So these 3 dates. So basically I will tell this client that May and June are the strongest months for marriage in this year. So yes, this is my prediction of second marriage in a chart. This is how you can do predictions. You can take note of all these things and try for yourself. So thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to my channel and thank you for your support. Goodbye.